Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Pianki Patamatulu Neferamon Gra. And today, we got our brother, Nobody, who got some things on his mind. But before we let him speak his speech, let me do my usual greeting. Let me say hotel to my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Let me say Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. And let me say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Now, y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only is because if you're black, I'm with you. And I hope that you're with me. Our different ideologies shouldn't keep us from uniting. We can be disagreeable without being disrespectfully so. And with that, my brother, Nobody.
What's good, bro? How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm good. So you got some
Man.
things on your mind.
Oh yeah, man. Somebody done put me in savage mode, man. Our brother Kimrod, man. He did a response video to the music video that we did, in which I don't know why he did it, but since he did, he challenged me. And I first just want everybody to know that I was lied on and I was also misrepresented. And I'm finna prove that. If you go back and check out the video that me, Jerome, and the other brothers did, I specifically said that rap started in the church and that rap transitioned into the rap that we got from New York. He said that I said that hip hop started in the church. So obviously, he must not have known that hip hop is a genre of music. Rap is an art form of music. And let me explain. You can rap on a country song, you can rap on a rock song, you can rap on a reggae song because those are genres of music. Rap is an art form. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he didn't know that because he twisted my words, and I used the word rap specifically for a reason, and didn't use the word hip hop. So since he tried to make me look dumb, in which he failed epically at trying to do, I'm finna have to go and prove what he asked me to prove, and we finna get into it, man. Let me share my screen real quick, and let's get into this,
All
bro.
right. So as you sharing your screen, so you basically trying to say that our brother, or you are basically accusing our brother of not knowing what he was talking about.
Totally 110%.
So you
Because
know that you know this ain't gonna go unanswered, right? You already know that.
that's that's fine. Because if he knew what he was talking about, then he wouldn't have mistaken me saying rapping for hip hop. So obviously, he thought that I was talking about the genre of music rather than the art form itself. So that's on him. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah, let me go and read this. Of course, this is Wikipedia, and this is what Wikipedia says. It says the Jubilaires were an American gospel group active during the 1940s and 50s. The group initially went by the name the Royal Harmony Singers as far back as 1936, and under that name, they reached number 10 on the R&B charts on November 14th, 1942, with "Praise the Lord" and "Pass the Ammunition," a song adopted from the speech of a noble chaplain in response to the attacks on Pearl Harbor the previous year. They are also remembered for their rhythmic rhyming verses, which would later evolve into rapping. Now, what did I say? I said that the rap that they were doing in church transitioned into the rapping that we got from New York. What's another word for transition? Evolve, right? Well, Wikipedia said the same thing I said. Okay, I know some people don't like Wikipedia. Some people say that Wikipedia is not a credible source. And the only people who say that are people who don't know how to do research. Because if you knew how to do research, and everybody who knows how to do research knows that Wikipedia provides sources at the bottom of their page to everything that they post on the internet. And all you have to do is go look up those sources, and they will be in video form, book form, article form, whichever form that they got it from. They will give you multiple sources. But since people don't like Wikipedia, let's move on to something else then. This is the Rolling Stones magazine, and if you're not familiar with the Rolling Stones magazine and you are into music, Something wrong with you. This is what Rolling Stone says. Rolling Stone says the state of New York announced Thursday that it would contribute $3.7 million to the Universal Hip Hop Museum, a $80 million institution dedicated to the musical genre set to open in the Bronx in 2023. Now, $80 million, that show you that this is big business. Okay, now I don't even know if Kim Rod even knew that there was a such thing as the Universal Hip Hop Museum. Obviously, he didn't know, but let's keep it going. Governor Andrew Cuomo,
Taking shots
Cuomo
today, man.
officially,
Taking shots.
huh?
I say you taking shots.
Hey, bro, I'm finna decapitate this dude today, man. I'm finna leave no stone unturned. So let me continue. Governor Andrew Cuomo officially signed off on a $3.7 million grant as part of a larger package of economic and community development funding statewide. CNN reports the Universal Hip Hop Museum, dubbed the first ever. There aren't any more. The first ever museum dedicated to rap music is currently operating as a pop-up exhibition in the Bronx Terminal Market ahead of its planned move to the newly developed Bronx Point in what is currently an empty parking lot off the major uh, Deacon Expressway, News 12 Bronx right. Construction is expected to begin in summer of 2020. It's almost up now for people who keep up with what's going on in the nation. It goes on to say Bronx born Rocky Brucano serves as the executive director of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. If you don't know who Rocky Buchanan is and you follow music, there's something wrong with you. We knew it was important because the Bronx is where hip hop started. Notice he said hip hop, not rap. Brucano told CNN it's crazy to think how hip hop, which has such an influence on pop culture, advertising, politics, doesn't have a place to call home. Goes on to say, in 2018, the Universal Hip Hop Museum announced that Public Enemy Chuck D, everybody know who Chuck D is, would serve as the chairman of the museum celebrity board, joining the Universal Hip Hop Museum chairman of the board, Curtis Blow. Everybody know who Curtis Blow is. Cultural ambassador includes Rakim. Kimrod, did you steal your name from Rakim or flip it around? Anyway, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J, Grandmaster Flash, and 5 Freddy. If you don't know who any of those people are and you claim to be a student of music, it's something wrong with you. Okay? Remember the Universal Hip Hop Museum because it's going to be something major later on in this presentation that I'm going. Let's move on. This is Rapzilla. Rapzilla is a Christian publication for Christian hip hop music. And, you know, they do interviews and articles, and they also report on interviews and articles that rappers have done with other publications. And this is what they say. um, the Jubilaires were doing gospel rap back in the 1940s. Hold up, some of my eye, give me 1 second. The Universal Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx, New York features displays, memorabilia, art, and exhibitions that's thoughtfully and education, educationally pieced together the rich history of hip hop. In a recent interview with the museum's curator, Claude Paradise Gray. If you don't know who Claude Paradise Gray is, again, there's something wrong with you. He admit that rap music roots can be traced back to a gospel group in the 1940s named the Jubilaires. The story found on City Lab cites the Jubilaires along with the Last Poets, the Watts Prophets, Mom Mabley, Pigment Morkham, you know, that's Dolomite, Muhammad Ali, as just a few of the biggest influence on the creation of hip hop. But when referring to the Jubilaires, Gray says they were a Christian gospel group that sang and what? Rapped. That's their words, not mine. This is Claude Gray words, not mine. Let's keep it pushing. Upon further investigation of this group, the Jubilaires consisted of. We'll skip through all that. Let's just go to the next line. It says they were all active primarily in the 1940s and sang American folk and gospel spirituals. The four piece would harmonize together in what was known as the Jubilee style of singing. Now, notice they had their own style. They created this style of singing, and it would often incorporate rhythmic speaking or singing in their verses, aka rap. Obviously, back then it was not called rapping. Of course, it wasn't called rapping. The word wasn't invented, but they were rapping. That's what we know it as today. But their style certainly can be credited as one of the earliest consistent forms of it in music. Some of the Jubilaires' most well known songs include Praise the Lord and Pass the Ammunition, Noah, which is a song that I mentioned. I said they were rapping about Noah back then. Noah, The Preacher and the Bear, and God Almighty Gonna Cut You Down, Go Down Moses, which were later popularized by the late Johnny Cash. Now, they were so influential that Johnny Cash, a white man, had to come over here and start doing some of their music. Okay, so let's keep it going.
Damn. And that's one of my favorite Johnny Cash songs.
Okay, see, Bloomingburg. This is another credible publication over here in America and in the UK. If you don't know about Bloomingburg as a publication, again, something wrong with you. Now let's see what they had to say. What does it mean to be the grand architect of hip hop culture? Now this is Paradise Gray talking right here. He says, when I went, he said, I went to Brooklyn Technical High School to become an architect. I wound up dropping out of school to do hip hop and later came to be known as Paradise the Architect because I was the architect of the Black Watch movement with Clan X. You don't know who Clan X is, and you call yourself a student of music? Something wrong with you. We didn't like to use the traditional words of the industry or spell words as they were traditionally spelled, so we didn't call X Clan a rap group. We called ourselves messengers of the Black Watch movement. I wasn't a producer. What better word to use than architect for someone who construct beats? Oh, he didn't even consider himself a producer. He said he an architect. Kim Rod. I wasn't the only producer of X Clan, but I was the chief architect of X Clan albums To the East Backwards and Exodus. 30 years later, Gray is still gathering responses, working today with who? The Universal Hip Hop Museum to immortalize events like the Bronx Youth Day. President Rocky Buchanan roped in Gray, who he worked with in the 1980s when Buchanan was running the Bronx based hip hop label Strong City Recordings. Since the 80s, Gray has worked under various titles helping develop hip hop culture. He was a journalist. What kind of journalist? He was one of hip hop's first. You know what a journalist is, right? He was one of the first people. He was also a rapper. He was a dancer. He was a photographer, even a music video cast director. He calls himself hip hop's Forrest Gump because he do it all. You see what I'm saying? Keep it going. These are his own words. I find the artists, connect with them, share their work, and get them to collaborate with us. That's the only way to share the whole hip hop story. It's supposed to be the Universal Hip Hop Museum. And I take the word universal seriously, meaning it's not just about New York. It's not just one certain time period. Our job is to document the history of every culture that ever contributed to hip hop. It's to answer the question of what was Pittsburgh doing when this was happening in New York? What was Oakland doing? What was Oakland, California when that was going on? Same for Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, Houston, Miami, England, Australia, Africa, France, Italy, and so forth to break things down like that. We're going to run the hip hop timeline against the timeline of the black community and really the culture of the entire African diaspora. So he's not anti African, none of that. He's all about Africa all day. Keep going. He says hip hop was influenced by many things and people, such as Muhammad Ali, the Last Poets, the Watch Prophets, Ma Mabley, Pigment Markham, the Jubilaires, a rap group from the 1940s. And guess where they're from? The South. Me, I'm from the South. This is probably why I know this and probably why Kim Rod don't, because I'm from the South. They were a Christian gospel group that sang and what? Rapped with almost the same cadence as Sugar Hill Gang. Hip hop was influenced by all of these forces. Now, what is he saying? Everybody know Muhammad Ali influenced to hip hop, not because he was a rapper. Muhammad Ali talked trash. You know what I'm saying? He was confident. He was cocky. That's what he contributed to the culture of hip hop. Pigmeat Markham, he played Dolomite. Dolomite was a pimp. With when you look at rap back then, you would see them with all the rings and all the big chains and all the swag. Just like Dolomite. That's what he contributed to the culture of hip hop. But the Jubilaires, they contribute their style of music in which they sang and rapped. Now, notice this is not my words. These are Claude Paradise Gray words. One of the first journalists of hip hop. Not my words, his words. Let's keep it going. I thought I had some more. What the rest of my hold up. Let me go back one, bro. Think I left some stuff out. Uh, let me see. Let me see. I got a collection of other stuff. I'm moving kind of slow. Alrighty.
I mean, this all some interesting information, man.
Oh, oh, I'm finna bring it home. I'm finna bring it home. This is the Limron. It's a hip hop expert speaks on evolution of the genre. Same person. This is rapper Claude Paradise Gray led that discussion on Tuesday, February 28th, as part of the, I don't know how to pronounce that word, hip hop. I don't know how to pronounce that word. He discussed the changes of hip hop over time. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, except when hip hop is involved. Hip hop legend Claude Paradise Gray proves this notoriously
Real quick, that word was symposium.
symposium. Okay, my bad. Symposium. Okay. Hip hop legend Claude Paradise Gray proved this notorious trait proverbs false in his The Latin Quarters. The interactive discussion with Paradise Gray of hip hop golden era on Tuesday 28th in the latter Galleria as part of, I don't know what that word is, Hip Hop Symposium 2017 timeline. He said, hip hop hits close to home for Gray, quite literally, as Gray self-proclaimed himself as one of hip hop's greatest fans. He's a fan too. As a child, Gray moved to the Bronx, which is customarily referred to as the home of hip hop, with his family to escape poverty. Now, notice they use the word customary because customary is exactly what Kimrod tried to do. He he customarily put rap as the home of hip hop because that's what he's heard over time, and what they're saying is that's what most people do. That don't mean that it's true. That's just what most people say. So let's keep it going. Hip hop was a way of life for me and my friends growing up in the South Bronx. Gray says. During that time, however, rap was known as disc. Hip hop was known as disco, and rapping was known as rocking out, according to Gray. Keeping with the what's that word was again, bro? Symposium's theme of hip hop's timeline,
There you
Gray
go.
asked the audience a plethora of rhetorical questions. What is hip hop's DNA? Who influenced hip hop? Because if we think about it, the greatest story ever told is that hip hop was created in the Bronx. And I say this because all of the elements of hip hop predates hip hop, Gray said. Can we find someone? Can we find someone who was rapping in the 1940s? That's impossible, right? Not impossible, merely difficult. As Gray showcased the YouTube video Preachers in the Bear by the Jubilaires. The Jubilaires were a gospel rap group from the 1940s with Preacher and the Bear, dating to 1941, if you can believe that. Hip hop then used language as a tool to unify the people. Now, don't forget, let me go back with you, bro. Let me stop. Let me unshare my screen for a second. Now, let's not forget, this is the curator who works at the Universal Hip Hop Museum, who was recruited by all the people I named: Chuck D, LL Cool J, all them people that was on the list who runs the museum. He's the curator. They go to him for him to set up all of the stuff that's in the museum, put the stuff in its place, put the stuff in its order, for him to write the articles and the stuff. If you ever been to a museum, you would know that they have stuff on the wall and then somebody write the detailed messages on what this is, where they come from. That's his job. So whatever he says, they back up. You see what I'm saying? He can't say anything that they are not putting up in their museum. So if he's saying this and they're corroborating what he said, and if I said what they said, then how am I wrong? Bro,
Bro,
I just cut this dude's head all the way off.
unshare
It
your
is
screen.
my bad. I thought I did. It's again, I wasn't speaking from my own validity when I said what I said. I was speaking from what I heard the experts from that time say. Now, I can say who influenced me today, but then Chuck D and them have to tell us who influenced them because we don't know when they was growing up in the 60s and 70s, close to the 80s. We don't know what kind of records their mothers were playing. Their mothers were probably playing the Jubilaires and other groups like them, which influenced them when they grew up to create the music that they did.
Well,
But you would have to just say it to him.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm just putting this out there. I think the phenom, as I call him, Kim Ra Nasu Sheikh Ma'at, is gonna have something to say. That's all I can say.
Oh, I have no
I
issue.
know you say you decapitated him, but I think he's still gonna have something to say, bro. So
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I mean, everybody should have something to say. But my thing is, if I'm only repeating what the experts, I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just claiming to be somewhat of a student of music because I used to do music. But if all I did was repeated what the experts who was actually rapping at that time said, then hey, he would have to find people who are who he would have to find people just as credible as them to debunk them. Because if Chuck D not credible, then who is? If Rakim not credible, then who is? If Curtis Blow is incredible, who is? If LL Cool J is incredible, if Claude the Paradise Gray is incredible, if Clan X, come on now, is incredible, who is? So you're not denouncing what I've said. You would have to denounce what they said, and they the ones that grew up in that era, so they would know better than me, him, and anybody else who were born after them, because all of us was born after them. So come on, man. Come on, man. It's an open and shut, nail in the coffin, throw the coffin off the bridge, blow it up. It's no getting around it. So again, what I said was rapping started in the church, and their rap songs is what transitioned to the rap that we heard coming from New York. He said that I said that hip hop started in the church. He lied on me. And it's funny how he lied on me because he played what I said word for word. And after he played it, turned around and said that I said hip hop. I did not say hip hop because I know that hip hop is a genre of music. Obviously, and Bianca, you know me, bro. You know I'm like a human, somewhat of a human dictionary. I try my best. I ain't saying I'm perfect. I try my best to use my words carefully, and you know that. You know what I'm saying? Right?
no doubt, no
And,
doubt.
and, and it's a reason why.
Hey, this get. I thought that this. I never thought music was gonna be the heated discussion on the Paradigm Shift TV platform, but this then turned into a heated back and forth. And I mean, we gonna see. You name some heavy hitters that's apparently backing up the information you disseminating. All I can say is I wouldn't count out the phenom just yet, but it's blood on the wall. I don't know if it's blood on the floor yet, but it's definitely some blood on the wall.
Yes, I feel you, man. It's all good too. I'm like you. I never would thought that I would be going back and forth with somebody about rap, especially with the video that we did. We wasn't challenging nobody. We was really misrepresented because our video topic was about how mainstream rap negatively affect the black community. And for some reason, people seem to got mad because we didn't speak on positive stuff. We wasn't talking about positivity. We was talking about negativity. Now, if we do a video about positivity and the rap game, we can pull up a whole bunch of positive stuff that the rap game has done for the black community. But that was not the subject. So for somebody to make a whole video misrepresent what I said, misrepresent what my brother said, and ask us why we didn't touch on something that the video wasn't even supposed to be about, I think it was asinine, man. I don't even see why he even made a video, but since he did, hey, you know, Got to come get the smoke. You know what I'm saying? And that's just to name a few. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something that I just pulled up just to show, you know, what I know about the music game because I have studied it, or at least researched a couple of things here and there when I was in it. But people got to also remember, man, we're living in the age of information too, man. You know, um, some of these people are still finding stuff. You know what I'm saying? Archaeology is not done. You know, history is not done. The rap is not done. You know what I'm saying? Somebody put the Jubilaires video on YouTube in 2018. That was the first time some people had ever even knew that people were rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because you know we're in the age of information. You know what I'm saying? So people people are still finding out stuff right now every day in which they have to rewrite history. And I also want to say this: if you notice, where is that museum? It's in Brooklyn. Where were almost everyone who I named on that list outside of I think one person, where are they from? They're from New York. These are people from New York giving credit to where they got the style from. You know what I'm saying? They're from the place. They're from the home of it. You know what I'm saying? So if they are not credible on their own, on if those people who are from that city are not credible in something that they created for us, then nobody is. You know what I'm saying?
Blood on the wall. All right, my brother. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you close out, and we're gonna see what our brother got to say as a counter to this left hook and uppercut you didn't threw at him.
Right,
So
right, right.
you know, I'm gonna let you had a final word.
Okay, I just want to say, man, I really don't appreciate being lied on. I don't appreciate being misrepresented. I don't mind being challenged. All I ask is that if you're going to challenge me on what I actually say. Also challenge me, you know, on what I actually believe. Don't twist my words. Don't do misnomers. Don't mistake something that I said for what I didn't say. And if you need me to rephrase something or to clear something up, I'll be more than happy to do that because I do that to other people. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot more of other stuff that I could show, but just for a timely fashion, you know, because believe me, we could have stayed on here for another 2 hours and I could have pulled up, you know, other stuff. But I didn't want to make this a real long video because we got another show to do after this. And like I say, man, we just we just going back and forth with on words, man. I ain't got no hate for nobody. I ain't got no heat for nobody. Despite how anybody may feel about me, it is what it is. But coming from my end, it's all love. Love is truth, and truth is what I'm here to present. I am your boy Nobody, the host of Trust and Believe the Gospel. Always trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody, and that is Jesus the Christ, man. Mm,
And that's peace. Y'all heard
that's
it
peace.
here. Left hook, uppercut. This has been Paradigm Shift TV 314. Best believe, Phenom, Kimra Nasu, Shaker Ma'at, Saber of Inspiration of the Temple of Het Haru will be coming back to throw some punches of his own. But until then, nobody is coming out throwing bombs. We'll see you
Hey,
on the
mate,
next episode. Hotel.
that's peace.